guess who's coming to Uncle Nene's Nerdcast? I've been very busy, and so we've got some great episodes that are going to get released in July and August.
It means that there's no boundaries.
As humans, we think of space as this three-dimensional structure, and it's not.
We did the first episode all about orcas. Then orcas actually became the predator in the next 3 episodes.
I sat down with Shannon Malone de Benedictis, who worked on Shark Week and has won Emmys for great wildlife documentary work.
What surprises people to find out is arguably the most difficult animal we had to work with was the house cat when I worked on Inside the Mind of a Cat.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Cats are, they're cats.
They're cats, and people are like, well, no, that should be easy. It's like, well, no, they sleep between 18 to 20 hours a day.
They do what they want when they want.
They do what they want when they want to do it.
I also sat down with John Wayne S. III, an incredible filmmaker, and got his perspective on what it's like to be an independent filmmaker.
Some of the young filmmakers miss out on the process of filmmaking.
Right. Yeah.
The idea that, we don't have a lot of time for let me do that again. No. Yeah. We used to do practice, shoot. Practice, shoot.
I was able to talk to the author Tyler Sner, who wrote his own fantasy series at the age of 17. And guess what? It became a hit. You're going to love that conversation if you love creators and storytellers as much as me.
The further I got in school, the more difficult that became. So The Jewels of Fate took 5 years to write, roughly. So I would say probably about grade 7, and then I published it the summer before grade 12.
I sat down with Nikki Belaloo, whose own personal journey as an advisor and counselor to business owners is somewhat of a hero story, coming from Iran. And where he comes from and where he's at today are quite different. His story is really interesting.
As time went on, I could see the nobility of my mom and dad's sacrifice. They took us from a legacy of tyranny to a legacy of freedom. And I believe inside every human breast beats the living heart of freedom.
I also sat down with Michael Gorton. He's an incredible person. I really enjoyed our conversation about the intersection of science and science fiction. And his book series, Tachyon Tunnel, has the potential to be the next big thing. He's a physicist and also a science fiction writer. You're going to want to watch that episode.
For the first time in all of the books that I've written, when I wrote Tachyon Tunnel 2, I said, I want to take everything I've learned as an engineer, a physicist, an entrepreneur, and everything I've read from, Asimov's Foundation to Heinlein's I'm Enough for Love to Weir's Mars Story and some of the more modern stuff. Tie it all together in one really big story.
I also sat down with Julian Hampton, a filmmaker who's made independent films for 15 years. And as a storyteller, he has quite an interesting perspective.
Selling it more and staying true to your vision is a balance that you have to have. Sometimes they coincide, but sometimes you have to say, this is what I envisioned. This is how I see the movie playing out.
I sat down with Matt Rouse to talk about the intersection of AI and science fiction. His expertise in AI really brings a lot of new things to light. You're going to want to watch that episode.
If you're going to talk about the movie Tron, it would be like, okay, movie, the name Tron, the characters that were in it, all these things would light up in the system. Nowadays, they have circuits, which are basically connections between those neurons that all light up. And these are for the system being able to understand like a thought process.
So this month, a lot of great shows are coming out on Uncle Nene's Nerdcast. Don't forget to subscribe to Uncle Nene's Nerdcast, and of course, stay nerdy.